NOLA Bible Stories.
Hi guys, today's story is about David and Goliath. This story can be found in 1 Samuel chapter 17. Long ago, in the days of Israel's first king, Saul, the people of God found themselves in a frightening situation. The land of Israel was at war with the Philistines, a powerful enemy that lived near the sea. The Philistines gathered their army on one hill, and the Israelites gathered on another hill, with a wide valley between them. For many days, the two armies faced each other, neither side daring to attack. But the Philistines had a secret weapon, a giant named Goliath. Goliath was enormous, nearly 10 feet tall, towering over every other man. He wore a bronze helmet and heavy armor that covered his chest and legs. The spear he carried was so huge that the tip alone weighed as much as a bowling ball. He looked terrifying, and his booming voice made him seem even more powerful. Every morning and evening, Goliath would step into the valley and shout to the Israelites, "Why are you lined up for battle? Am I not a Philistine? And are you not servants of Saul? Choose a man to fight me. If he wins, we will be your servants. But if I win, you will be ours." Day after day, the giant mocked Israel. The soldiers of King Saul trembled with fear. Not one of them was brave enough to fight. Meanwhile, far away in Bethlehem, there was a young shepherd boy named David. He was the youngest of 8 brothers, and his job was to watch over the family's sheep. David loved to play the harp and sing songs to God while tending his flock. He was brave and had already fought off lions and bears to protect his sheep. David's 3 oldest brothers were soldiers in King Saul's army. One day, David's father, Jesse, sent him to the battlefield with bread and food for his brothers. When David arrived, he saw the armies lined up, and he heard the voice of Goliath shouting his usual challenge. David looked around and saw all the Israelite soldiers shrinking back in fear. He asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" His brothers grew angry. They told him to go home and tend the sheep. But David was determined. He believed this giant was not just insulting Israel, he was insulting God himself. News of David's bold words reached King Saul, and the boy was brought before the king. Saul looked at him and said, "You are only a boy. How can you fight a giant like this?" David answered confidently, "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a lamb, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the lamb from its mouth. The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." Saul was amazed at the boy's courage. Finally, he said, "Go, and may the Lord be with you." Saul tried to dress David in his own armor, but it was far too big and heavy. David could hardly walk. He shook his head and said, "I cannot go in these. I'm not used to them." Instead, David took only his shepherd's staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones he picked up from the stream. Goliath came forward with his shield bearer, laughing as he saw David approach. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" he roared. "Come here and I will give your flesh to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field." But David stood firm. With faith shining in his eyes, he replied, "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." Today the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." Then David ran quickly toward the battlefield. He reached into his pouch, took out a stone, and placed it in his sling. He swung it with all his strength, aiming carefully. The stone flew through the air and struck Goliath right in the forehead. The giant's eyes widened, and with a loud crash, he fell face down on the ground. The Philistine army gasped in shock. David ran to the fallen giant, took Goliath's own sword, and finished the fight. The enemy fled in fear, and the Israelites chased after them, shouting in victory. David became a hero that day, not because of his strength, but because of his faith in God. Everyone saw that it was the Lord who gave David the victory. This story reminds both children and adults that no matter how big the challenge, with faith in God, even the smallest person can overcome the greatest giant. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for new videos every week.